Okay, get this. Today we're diving into Legado by Prescott brochures,
Yeah.
fact sheets, the whole shebang.
Luxury apartment tower in Dubai.
You got it. And let me tell you, they are pushing a lifestyle here. Think silk robes, sparkling water, views for miles.
Definitely giving off that aspirational living vibe, yeah. But before we get too swept up in the glitz, maybe we should, ground ourselves a bit.
Good point.
Yeah.
Reality check first.
Right. So this tower is in Jumeirah Village Circle, JVC, as they call it. It's important to remember this isn't right on the beach like some of those Dubai properties people picture.
Ah, so location-wise, not the most prime.
Well, that's debatable. See, their marketing stuff is really pushing JVC as a hot spot right now, at least for investors.
Interesting. So what makes this location special then?
Well, JVC is in this rapid development phase right now. Lots of new money coming into Dubai, especially after, everything that's happened. And JVC is appealing because, well, it's more affordable to get in on compared to, say, the Palm Jumeirah or downtown.
So it's like the up-and-coming neighborhood, still riding that wave of Dubai growth.
Exactly. And they're playing up that family-friendly angle, too. Parks, a calmer vibe than some of those really bustling areas. Plus, the fact sheet keeps mentioning easy access to major roads, which, let me tell you, is huge E in Dubai.
Traffic can be a beast. Yeah, good point.
Oh, for sure. So strategically located, I'll give them that.
Okay, so that's one box checks.
Yeah.
But back to the luxury thing, because their brochure mentions a unique perspective of luxury living, whatever that means.
Right, like they invented a new level of fancy, haha.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So how are they trying to stand out?
Well, they do highlight the building itself quite a bit. 34 stories, sleek glass facade, pretty standard for Dubai, but still impressive. And they keep going on about natural light and these strategically angled interiors.
The natural light thing sticks out to me. It makes me think they've really designed it to maximize those views, with floor-to-ceiling windows, open layouts, that sort of thing.
Right, and that fits with where luxury is going these days. It's not just about fancy finishes anymore. It's about how the space makes you feel. And speaking of different vibes, they've got everything from studios to three-bedroom apartments, even these sky villas.
Ooh, sky villas. Now that sounds fancy. Penthouse living.
Sounds like it. We'll have to dig into that more.
We definitely will. But first,
Okay.
okay, sky villas aside for now, let's talk amenities. Because this brochure really makes it sound like living at Legado is basically a permanent vacation.
Definitely going for that whole selling a lifestyle thing we talked about, huh?
Totally.
Yeah.
They want residents to feel like they've got, I don't know, everything at their fingertips.
And they've ticked off a lot of boxes, that's for sure.
No kidding. Spread across multiple floors, too.
Yeah.
Even from the moment you arrive, right? Valet parking, 24/7 concierge. Talk about making an entrance.
All about that first impression, setting the tone right off the bat, exclusive, personalized service.
Exactly. And then they've got this whole first floor dedicated to families.
Oh, yeah, that's smart.
Like full-on splash park, climbing wall, even a fire pit.
Recognizing that JVC is attracting that family crowd. Good strategy.
For sure.
Yeah.
But then the 14th floor, now this is where things get interesting to me. It's like they said, work hard, play hard, and just ran with it.
Let me guess, they've got a golf simulator up there.
Not quite. Co-working space, library, all that makes sense,
I'll get
right?
it.
But then they hit you with a racing simulator.
No way. Seriously. That's amazing.
Right. Like, who needs to leave the building for fun when you've got that at your disposal?
So on brand for these luxury developments now. It's not just gyms and pools anymore. Got to have that unique experience,
Yeah.
bragging rights for the residents.
Totally. Oh, yeah, just going to go race some virtual cars in my building simulator. No biggie. And then to top it all off, there's a 24th floor, peak luxury, infinity pool, those panoramic Dubai views.
Had to be done. It's practically mandatory at this point.
Right. But I did notice they also have these Zen meditation decks up there, too.
Interesting. So balance out that virtual adrenaline rush with some tranquility.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Action and relaxation all in one building.
Very deliberate.
They've really thought of everything, it seems. Makes you wonder, though. How does this all translate to the actual apartments themselves?
Because let's be real, you're spending more time inside your actual unit than you are hanging out in the lobby, no matter how fancy it is.
Exactly. So let's dive into those floor plans, shall we? You're right. At the end of the day, the apartment is where you actually live. All those amenities are great, but...
Got to make sure the actual living spaces hold up, right?
Exactly. So we've got the floor plans here. Let's see what we're working with.
Looks like they've got a good range, which is smart. Studios all the way up to those big 3-bedroom units. Something for every, every luxury budget, I guess.
Makes sense. Catering to different buyers. Although speaking of the studios, some of these layouts are really well done.
They're not just shoe boxes, right?
No kidding. Some even have these huge terraces. I'm talking bigger than my first apartment. Huge. Like having an extra living room, but with Dubai views.
That's a major selling point, especially in a place like Dubai, where being outdoors is so nice. What, like 9 months out of the year?
Totally. And then as you get into those larger units, the 1, 2, 3 bedrooms, it's all about open concept living.
Makes sense. Play up that natural light they keep mentioning. Plus, you've got to maximize those views.
Right. Imagine having breakfast with the Burj Khalifa in the background. Not bad. Oh, and they do mention smart home technology throughout this brochure.
But they keep the details vague, huh? Just a little tease.
Totally. Leaving us wanting more. Like, what does that even mean in this context? Mood lighting, temperature control, maybe a robot butler who brings you coffee. Who knows?
Gotta leave some mystery for the in-person tour, I suppose.
Right. Come see for yourself if our smart fridge can order your groceries.
Yeah.
But, okay, enough teasing. Let's talk price. Because all this luxury doesn't come cheap.
That's the million-dirham question, literally. So their fact sheet, even the smallest studio here starts at AED 650,000.
Okay, so not exactly a steal, but maybe on par for what this is, right? Brand new, luxury building, decent location.
Depends on your perspective, I guess. For some, that's a reasonable entry point into that Dubai market. Others might be priced out immediately, but then you jump up to those 3-bedroom units.
And suddenly we're talking serious money.
Close to AED 1.9 million. Even for a seasoned investor, that's a chunk of change.
No kidding. Definitely tells you who they're targeting. And speaking of targeting, did you notice they've got 2 payment plan options?
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So there's the standard 60/40, which is pretty common here.
Right. Pay most of it during construction, the rest when it's done.
Exactly. But they've also got this post-handover plan, smaller upfront payment, then you pay it off in installments after you move in.
Which I imagine appeals to a very specific kind of buyer. Maybe someone who's relying on rental income from the property, or, I don't know, maybe they just really want to live in a place with a racing simulator.
Who wouldn't? But speaking of strategy, gotta do our due diligence here. Every good deep dive needs a background check on the developers, right?
Always. So, who eyes Presco? Should we trust them with our hypothetical millions?
Well, they dedicate a decent amount of space in both these brochures to, like, their company history and all that. Founded in 2006, which in Dubai real estate is saying something.
They've weathered some storms for sure.
Right. That market has had its ups and downs, to put it mildly. And they really emphasize their track record. On-time delivery, premium finishes, that sort of thing.
Building trust. I like that they even list out their past projects.
Transparency is always good. Lets buyers do their own digging, see if the quality lives up to the hype. And frankly, the sheer number of projects they've done.
Shows ambition.
Right. Completed, planned, all of it. They're not messing around. Whether that's reassuring or a bit much, I guess depends on the individual investor.
For sure. But hey, that's what due diligence is for. All right, so there you have it. Legado by Presco. We've explored the location, the luxurious amenities, those floor plans, even crunched some numbers and checked out the developer's track record.
We've given you the facts, the vibes. Now it's up to you to decide if this whole oasis in the sky thing is really all it's cracked up to be.
Would you trade it all for a chance to live among the clouds? With a racing simulator at your beck and call, that's something to ponder. This deep dive might be over, but the exploration, as always, is just beginning.